Welcome and thank you for joining us today for the eighth installment of Motionsoft's 8-week Technology Summit Education Series. Our session today is titled Technology-Enabled Sales Automation, Member Engagement, and Analytic Insights. Your presenter today is Daron Allen, President and CEO of Visual Fitness Planner, who I'll introduce in just a moment. My name is Todd Tweedy. I'm based at Motionsoft's corporate offices in Rockville, Maryland, and I'll be your moderator for the series. We're just about halfway through with 4 more webinars remaining and would love to get your feedback. Please feel free when you get the confirmation message to go ahead and provide any feedback you have on the seminar for seminars for next year. Would appreciate any insights, acknowledgments, any kind words, be fantastic. The series itself that we've created has been designed to support your professional development by giving you access to industry-leading thinkers and companies that are really driving innovation in the fitness industry. We have 4 remaining sessions, and our sessions are going to cover the technology fitness landscape, how to drive high-impact member experience management programs, and I think one that keeps coming up over and over again, which is privacy rights. We'll have a session dedicated to legal considerations that you'll need to be aware of in the personal health data space. And then finally, on December 10th, we'll close things up with Bill Besselman, who's the VP of Integration and Digital Strategy at Under Armour. And he'll be talking specifically about digital partnerships and how to partner with Under Armour. As always, you can view the complete webinar schedule by visiting MotionsoftTechnologySummit.com. I want to take this brief moment just to kind of keep you up to date on some of the activities taking place at Motionsoft and specifically our back office support services. We're now providing 100% PCI certified full service billing solutions to complement our industry leading enterprise and small business club management application software. The Motionsoft full service solution leverages 2 best in breed resources. One, a dedicated in-house full service team, and an automated rules-based back-office support service solution, or BOSS. If you're interested in exploring full-service billing or our standalone BOSS service, please contact your support representative by calling 1-800-829-4321 or by emailing support@motionsoft.net. Now, I'd like to take a moment just to ensure that everyone's familiar with the webinar control panel and how to pose questions to your presenter today. First, you should have a control panel on the right side of your screen, similar to the image that you see here on this presentation slide. If you don't see that control panel, look in your taskbar for the orange clover icon and click it to open the control panel. You have the ability to submit questions during the webinar by using the questions feature that's located near the bottom of the control panel itself, which I've highlighted here in red. If you could, just take a moment and practice sending a question via the interface. Just try typing hello or good afternoon and click the send button. Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate your message, Chris. Hello back to you. All right. Finally, I want to let you know that your Q&A session with your presenter will be held at the conclusion of this presentation. And of course, if we run out of time or not able to address your questions directly during the webinar, our presenter will follow up with you directly. I'd like to remind you this webinar is being recorded. Your microphones are muted, but again, you'll have the ability to ask questions via the feature that we just reviewed. After the webinar concludes, you'll be sent an email with a link to download the presentation, as well as this webinar recording. Now, it's my privilege to introduce Daron Allen, President and CEO of Visual Fitness Planner, your presenter for today's topic, Technology-Enabled Sales Automation, Member Engagement, and Analytic Insights. Daron is President and CEO of Visual Fitness Planner, the ultimate sales engine, and has been connecting club owners to the ultimate sales engine for the last 14 years. VPF is one of the longest running technology companies in the fitness industry. Daron has a passion for solving the burning needs of health industry companies through technology. Daron has worked with the best and biggest club operators across the world implementing sales technology systems, including 24-Hour Fitness, Good Life Fitness, Gold's Gym International, Export Fitness, the Edge Fitness Clubs, UFit, Wow Workout World, Experience Fitness, The Rush, National Fitness Centers. Lifestyle Family Fitness, BioRhythmo, Active Sports, Crunch, Planet Fitness, World Gym, Retro Fitness, the Alaska Clubs, and many, many more. Mr. Allen is also the past president and chairman of the board of the Texas Health Racquet and Sports Club Association, and served as vice president of the Osteopathic Health Systems of Texas, managing facilities in Fort Worth. Mr. Allen earned recognition for his managerial achievements and becoming one of 4 finalists for the International Health, Racquet, and Sports Club Association Life Fitness General Manager of the Year Award in 1998 and 1999, and was selected top 10 for the same award in 1999-2000. He's a recognized presenter within the health club industry, having presented numerous topics at events including multiple IRSA international conferences. Daron, welcome to the Motionsoft Technology Summit Education Series. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thanks, Todd. It's a great pleasure to be with you today. Todd, are you're still able to hear me for sure?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. Looking forward to your presentation. Please continue.
Very good. Thanks so much. I'm glad to be here, and thanks for the opportunity to talk a little bit about the various technology solutions that we have to offer with Visual Fitness Planner. We have embarked on a pretty exciting new era for Visual Fitness Planner, and while we have been building the ideal sales engines for clubs for about 14 years, we have really gone to the next level in terms of what our system provides and the capabilities that we deliver to the clubs, especially as it relates to refining their sales approach and driving data and enabling data-driven decisions. So we really believe that data-driven decision-making is the future, and that if you don't have the data and you're not able to easily understand the data and gain insight through the data, that your decision-making is going to be severely limited as you move forward in your businesses. I'm not sure how many of you have ever seen the movie Glengarry Glen Ross, but it's one of the great all-time movies as it relates to sales, and it's probably one of the most watched sales videos on YouTube, where Alec Baldwin has a great monologue, and he's sort of trying to motivate some not so highly motivated sales guys, and but the bottom line is that in our industry, sales really do drive business. It's the driver for business, and what Visual Fitness Planner believes is that the data that you can capture and analyze, and then utilize that data for insights to improve your processes is absolutely critical. And we really believe that if you don't have an automated sales system, any sort of paper-based system is going to get you a set of steak knives. If you may remember, he says that the winner is going to get a Cadillac, and second place is you get a set of steak knives, and third place is you're fired. And so we just believe that having the data that you can gather via automated sales systems is just absolutely critical for your business. We also are, as part of our sales systems, we are choreographing a systematic approach to the member journey. And I'm going to be touching on a few of these different areas today. But as it relates to the member journey, there is obviously the lead generation aspect. There's the membership sales presentation aspect, and all of the other things that go along with that. But then as you transition into the member integration process and how do you ensure that the member is integrated properly is a key part of that journey, and our systems choreograph and facilitate the transition from lead generation to membership sales presentation to integrating the new member into the club. I believe that if any of you were at the Technology Summit, you probably heard Dr. Paul Bedford, and I'm going to refer to him today, speak about the key importance of what happens in the first 4 to 6 weeks of a member. I think many of us in the industry, know this, but now, we have some additional research that shows the critical nature of the interventions, the touch points, and what is needed to make sure that the member gets integrated so that the retention is set up for success. And, at VFP, Visual Fitness Plan, we really believe that having a fully choreographed process with technology is really critical for that, and our technology facilitates that. In addition, as the industry has transitioned to a little bit more of the membership as a commoditized service, commoditized product, at lower price points, and the consumer is looking for lower price points in many of the marketplaces. We have believed for a long time, and as a key foundation of our technology, we have been building systems that drive personal training and small group training sales. And I'll touch on this a little bit as we go further, but being able to layer in personal training solutions one-on-one, whether it's full hour or half hour, and how you layer that in or blend that with small group training, large group training, and how that's bundled or in some cases unbundled from your membership is a key part of the business today. And again, we believe that needs to be in a choreographed and automated technology solution and not left up to chance and not left up to the individual sort of bias of a trainer or whoever's involved in that new member onboarding. And so we believe that having a standardized and consistent process is key to drive those metrics in our competitive environment. And as it relates to member engagement, our technology actually has 3 patents that we've had on the technology, and members being engaged is obviously a key part of the retention solution. And I'll touch on our health risk, but our technology has the ability to calculate a person's likelihood of getting diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and cancer. It also has the ability to create a 3D avatar of where the person is today, but more importantly, there's a results prediction simulator that predicts or projects a potential future in terms of the changes, and it really calculates what the human body's potential for change actually is. In addition, we have fitness assessment components that again engage the member, but also from a business perspective, it's very important because you want to make sure you have a baseline for which to measure the results and the change that the members are getting over time. And all of these things are designed to drive towards member retention. As I mentioned earlier, the automation aspect is really key, whether it's one-on-one, small group, or large group. And as part of this, I wanted to jump into showing a little bit about that member journey. Throughout the presentation today, I'm going to be providing some examples of the technology that we have implemented to help drive this member journey and create a successful member journey technology solution. This is just one example of how our technology can be used to drive leads into the club. There are also some clubs that are utilizing this system not necessarily to drive leads in the digital marketing space, but are utilizing this to generate interest from all of the members that are currently members. So from the current membership base to try and drive people to come into the club, get back into the club, to go through and be presented with personal training, small group training options. I'll just sort of give you a general idea. This is obviously on a website. It's mobile responsive. You could see it on your phone. You could check it out on your phone, iPad, whatever the responsive mobile device would be. But for the purposes of showing it larger on the screen, I'm showing it on a computer, PC here. This is just an example of what part of the outcome is by asking a few questions, getting the person to sort of engage with this. In this particular example, our system's actually only calculating the health age of the prospect or the member. We have other instances where the technology will only calculate a person's likelihood of getting diabetes. So as an example, as part of the digital marketing strategy, and either prospect engagement, lead generation, or again on your existing membership engagement basis, say it's National Diabetes Awareness Month. You could, tweak this widget so that it would only calculate a person's likelihood of getting diabetes, and then the tease or the pull to get them into the club for an appointment is, you can, come on into the club and you can understand what your likelihood of getting heart disease, stroke, and cancer are. So in this particular high-level one, it's just the goal, health, age, and obviously in order to get, in this case, it's a 5-day trial pass, or it could be a free personal training session. They have to enter just a minimal amount of information, and then they can get that. So you can see how that this could be a lead gen or member engagement tool to get people back into the club. Another key aspect of what Visual Fitness Planner delivers, which it may be the strongest thing that we do at VFP, is we really believe that you need to have truly custom sales systems and a truly custom platform to facilitate the member journey. And I'm going to be showing some examples that will help you understand the level of customization that our technology platform provides. We've actually built somewhere in the neighborhood of 350 to 400 custom platforms, and every single one of them is incredibly unique. We really believe that when it comes to technology, that one size does not fit everybody. As you can see here, this is in my early years before I started losing my hair, and the suit just didn't fit. Actually, that's not me. It's a neat little image off the web. But we really believe that one size doesn't fit all, and that you need to have customization, and that your technology solution really needs to be incredibly unique. And that's what we've been building in our platform for 15 years, is the ability to truly partner with an organization and build out a custom platform down to terminology. Some clubs have incredibly unique terminology, and our technology solution handles that level of customization. I'm going to just show a couple of screenshots of a few various systems, just to give you an idea of the level of customization that we can build out. This is a group in Chicago, DC, New York, called Export Fitness, and the technology that the primary purpose and use of the technology platform that they have is selling personal training at the point of sale. And on all of these platforms, as I go through and show a couple of examples, you'll obviously understand and respect that that we can't show all of the nuances of every aspect of the custom versions, because oftentimes there are unique pieces of the technology that we've built for the customer. Just as a quick example, we automate the fitness questionnaires for many clubs. We gather interests so that people can know whether their marketing is being effective, so we can assist in tracking that for them. Here's an example of the Avatar Results Prediction Simulator. I'll just touch on this for a little bit. What our algorithms and what our patents are covering is the actual ability, based on a particular plan. In this case, it's 3 days per week of resistance and 4 days per week of cardio and 6 days per week of proper nutrition or compliance to a nutrition program, 3 days with a trainer, and 5 days of proper supplementation. Our technology actually calculates that the human body, in this case, is projected to burn approximately 1.9 pounds of body fat on a weekly basis. And what's really unique about our system is that it will calculate and predict exactly how many weeks that it will take for a person to accomplish this result. So in this case, if I slide, as you can see in the screenshot, I've taken the slider bar and I've moved it over to 37 pounds of fat loss, and our algorithm calculates that that's going to take 19 weeks or not quite 5 months, somewhere between 4 and 5 months there, and this works in the opposite direction, where if I had slid this bar to say 12 weeks, it would calculate exactly how many pounds of fat loss that the human body is capable of in that time frame. And it's very easy to customize and change the program, and then you can actually see that it's going to calculate the amount of fat loss, and the algorithms include muscle gain in that as well. In addition, I just wanted to show an example of what the level of customization is, and I think Export has done a pretty good job. I'm just going to run this little video, but basically it's talking about what the ideal solution would be in terms of the functional movement screen and heart rate training and the recovery phase of what they deliver in the clubs. But I think that one of the reasons why this is such a powerful overview, and why we believe, again, in the choreographed nature of the technology platform, is that so many of the customers, so many of the members that come into the club don't really know what to expect once they join, and what that assessment or orientation process might look like. So again, we are helping and assisting not only the club, but the salesperson in this particular instance, and then even more importantly, we're helping the consumer understand what the process is going to look like, even a little bit of what it'll feel like. And again, from a business perspective, this is going to drive more of the members to see value and to sign up for this orientation assessment. And so that's going to drive their set, show, and close rates on those appointments and their personal training, small group training sales. But from the consumer perspective, it's driving engagement, because they actually have a much more clear understanding of what to expect. We also have been working on additional solutions that again can be immediately sent to the mobile device of the member. They could check it out at home. You're not going to be able to get the audio through the webinar, but in this whiteboard video, we've done a little bit of testing, and video is very important, and we've actually found that these little whiteboard videos and our little bit of research show that people are engaged in them, and it allows them to visually be educated on, again, what they could expect in this orientation, assessment, consultation. And so we're building these out, automating these so that the member engagement increases. You can just see in this particular example that it's talking about a couple of the obstacles of lack of motivation and a specific plan. But again, having the ability to choreograph the member journey and ensure that they are seeing the value and understanding what they're going to get is incredibly helpful. Getting back to touching on those data-driven decisions, we believe that if you can gain insight, then that improvement, that refining of the sales systems is much easier, and it also becomes an organic part of your business. And we just believe that anything that's on paper, and you can't make these legitimate data-driven decisions. We've been working on really understanding sales analytics on our team. We have over 150 years of health club sales management, ownership, sales expertise, and so we've been working not only with all of the talent on our own team, but also with many of our customers to really understand why these things are so important to your business. And part of our philosophy is that sales success is achieved by reproducing not any sales system or not any sales process, but the ideal sales process. And so when we roll up our sleeves and partner with a club, we are looking to say, what is that ideal sales process, not in general, but specifically for that club or that group of clubs. And if you have a keen understanding of when that ideal sales process followed, and then also when it's not, that's really the key. We also believe that knowing every detail from each sales presentation, which is very similar to sort of a secret shopper report that's summarized in real time, provides the insights that you need to refine the sales approach. And then that's how you can realize your true potential. And by doing that, you can energize and motivate ideal performance. In addition to this, we believe that by refining the process, it returns the focus onto customer results, and that it allows you to train and develop your sales team. And there's just so many benefits to doing that, and certainly one of those is retaining your staff members significantly longer. And we also believe that accountability is important, and that having insights to coach up your team members in a positive manner is really good, and so you can really drive that sales intelligence in a real-time fashion. Recently, I've written an article that's titled "Align Technology Solutions with Your Club's Strengths and Avoid Some Technology Missteps." And I just wanted to break out a couple of snippets from that article. If anybody is interested in that, you can just pop me an email and I'll send you the full article. But a couple of the key concepts that I believe are so important are one, you have to understand really what your clubs do well, and that's got to be a team effort between multiple divisions of the club. It's not just driven through the sales organization, or not just driven through the technology IT part of the business. It's a collaborative effort, and we believe that the technology solutions that you look to implement should really complement what it is that your clubs are doing well. In order to do that, you have to understand what you do best. Obviously, I've touched already today on the need for making sure that it's incredibly customizable to your operation. I also strongly believe that in our space, having someone on the technology team that you're going to implement that technology, that some level of health club expertise is really key. And then obviously with the speed of change in our industry, adaptability is absolutely key on that. I want to share a couple of not only testimonials, but the reason why I'm sharing it, I want to back it up with some of the work that we do. In terms of 24-hour fitness, we've been working very closely with their team, and the customization is a really key part of that. Obviously, I can't show very much of their system, but I do want to show, obviously our health risks for diabetes, heart disease, stroke, and cancer, along with the current age and the health age. But as you can see, the way that this is fit into their brand and into their health and fitness consultation and customized to them, it's a key part of training and developing their staff and driving member engagement as well. This, I can't spend long on this screen, but this talks a little bit about how they encourage people to move, and they work with them on a plan for the month, and then they talk to them about what's next once they get started in some of their training solutions. I'm going to reference again Dr. Paul Bedford in his studies. When I was at the Technology Summit, I thought that this was a really key point. I know many people in our industry have often believed that a consumer or a member needs to have some quote-unquote some skin in the game. They need to have some commitment in order to achieve some health and fitness goals. Exercise is not the funnest thing in the world. I often tell people that our business, our industry is in a sort of an uphill battle at times, and so we're sort of the antithesis of of FedEx, right? So in our business, you need to work hard. You've got to go through a little bit of pain. You got to go through a little bit of discomfort, and you don't get any immediate results, and you need to plan it out. And on the opposite side of that is FedEx, and that's like if you need to wait until absolutely the last minute and then procrastinate, they'll come pick it up. And if you really procrastinate, you can probably run it over to the airport by 7 o'clock at night, and depending on where you live, they even have a station where you could get it there, as late as midnight in some cases, and they'll still deliver it to you tomorrow. Now, you're going to pay for it, but FedEx, their business model is, rewards, well, it doesn't necessarily reward procrastination, but solves for procrastination. What Dr. Bedford found in his study was that, like I say here, the harder the sale, the longer they stay. And he actually has some graphs and metrics that show that when people have some skin in the game, and that's maybe it's an enrollment fee that's a little bit more, maybe there's an initial investment on the processing fee or an annual facility fee, and or a 12-month commitment, which obviously is harder for a salesperson to sell. There are objections that have to be overcome with that, but what he found was that was significantly beneficial to the club. In fact, what he found was that month-to-month memberships, on average, the length of membership was, I think, 4 or 5, 6 months, certainly less than or equal to 6 months. But if you got a 12-month commitment, the average length was at a minimum 14 months or longer. So I think that as part of how this applies to Visual Fitness Planner and our solutions, we believe that building value in what it takes to accomplish some change and to reduce your health risks and to generate, visible change in your body, change that you can feel and see, it takes a little bit of time. And we also believe that the average salesperson does not get enough sales training. The average sales personal trainer is not the ideal salesperson. Many times they are great people, they have great people skills, but they do not have great selling skills, and oftentimes those personal trainers don't enjoy selling. And so what Visual Fitness Planner does is we build systems that facilitate a technology, an assisted sales presentation to help them, drive the sale more comfortably. Another testimonial with some backup here is from Good Life Fitness, and basically in the Good Life Fitness version, they've actually branded this something called the Life Changer, but it's a very, very in-depth where we are actually helping facilitate overhead squat assessments. We've also provided tools to the trainers so that they can engage the member through the various areas here of, blood pressure, resting heart rate, their pH balance, their spirometry testing. In addition, we have built out a custom exercise prescription or program design wizard. So again, it gives a lot of flexibility for the trainers to build out a one-year program based on the phases of training, but yet it is choreographed enough so that it scales and it is standardized and consistent. And it, again, drives towards showing results and change over time. In addition, we have the ability to provide a digital fitness card and a digital file for all of the members that, again, you can data mine off of all of this robust information that our system gathers over time. Another quick example that I do want to mention, I'm not going to read this entire thing, but just want to sort of point out that as part of what our technology solution offers, we also have, we roll up our sleeves and consult with the organizations, and we take the time, like he says here, to make the necessary adjustments that include, how you sell, what you charge, compensation plans for your trainers. And, Robert has seen that, the PT sales process that our platform delivers is really driving great revenue for them. Another example that I want to point out, primarily because of the metrics here, one of the goals that we have as it relates to benefiting the organization is driving the set, show, and close rates of the organization. And, this group of clubs is doing a great job of getting 70% of their new members booked into an orientation assessment, getting 70% of them to show, and then getting 35 to 40% of those people to purchase into PT or small group training solutions there. And as part of their technology platform, they're really focused on what they call their total fitness solution or their fitness wheel. And as part of this, they have gone to the extent of customizing, and we've embedded videos so that the experiential value to the prospect or new member to understand what it would look like and feel like can really be experienced even in the event that one of the small group training sessions may not be in progress at the moment of their orientation. Another key part of the solution that we're delivering is the visibility into all of the KPIs. And as part of this, I'm going to dive into some of our sales analytics in a moment. But I did want to mention that as it relates to the KPIs and how do you, put in a full PT sales, system into your club. If you have any questions on that, as it may relate to how to transition from cash to EFT, compensation plans, sustainable draft, again, you could email me and we could talk about that. I'm just going to briefly talk about an example of how to blend one-on-one training with small group training. And again, I can't spend a lot of time on these screens, but I just want you to see the level of customization that our organization goes to ensure that whatever the sales culture, whatever the sales process, and whatever the sales flow is of your organization, we customize to that. Couple of benefits. Obviously, we increase the speed to revenue production through replicating custom ideal sales presentations. We've often talked to trainers who, wish that they could have a full-time income and a full-time job in training, and sometimes they have to have multiple jobs. And so one of the things that we are striving to do is help them make more money more quickly so that they can be full-time in training, because we really want to elevate the level of professionalism both in sales and in personal training throughout the industry. That's a key part of I personally am very motivated to help drive that. I've touched on the secret shop, but our platform now gives the ability to really mystery shop or secret shop every single presentation to every member and prospect in the organization, and then give you insight to coach and change that. And then the other thing that we do is we increase revenue over time through consistency. Consistency is just such a key part of the business today, and it also helps drive staff retention. Just real quickly to touch on reporting, obviously we can deliver sales analytics, on a trainer by trainer or salesperson by salesperson basis, a club level, a district level, regional level, national level. We have automatic feeds, automatic, prompts to go look at the real-time data. Again, in terms of the dashboard, by simply utilizing the Visual Fitness Planner as your automated sales platform, you can get a dashboard that shows your metrics here in terms of how many shows, how many closes, your closing percentage, total sessions sold, and it's really unique in that we deliver this level of reporting without any additional data entry. So by simply having a custom sales process, we gather the data throughout that process, including the price presentation and the closing of the presentation, so that you can get this without having to go into a different system to enter in, when somebody shows up for an appointment, etc. You can drill down on, a region or a district and look at all your closing percentages. You can drill down to, obviously, the specific club. You can drill down to specific trainers and see how they are doing and who might be doing good and who might be doing poorly. And in addition, you can, as part of our analytics, you actually are able to see who is doing a good job on the needs analysis and whether they're following the process exactly as you would envision or like for them to follow that process. And we are constantly updating our algorithms that are identifying when the ideal sales process is followed. We have multiple best practice, if you will, best practice outcomes or versions of the ideal sales process, but it's obviously going to be tweaked and adjusted based on your custom sales process. A couple of more things just so everybody sees the level of detail and how it is more than just a technology play. But we work hand in hand so that the organization can convey to the member what exactly they will be getting, in this case with personal training, and how that we can update the digital fitness card with the assessments over time. We get the baseline, and then we can do multiple assessments over time, and it just helps the member understand how that a custom design program can be built for them. And then, as you can see, we can track and help the member track. I just grabbed a couple of quick screenshots so the dates are the same, but you can track all of the changes over time. All our technology, autographs, all of that stuff, again, so that the member can have some engagement with the system and with the change in their health risks, their health age, their body fat, all of their measurements, everything that you might do in your assessments. So I know our time is a little bit short, and so I've been going relatively quickly to make sure I left a little bit of time here for some questions and answers. And so, Todd, I guess what I'll do now is I will bounce it back over to you in the event that anyone has either already typed in a question, or you can maybe ask for a few other questions as well.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Darren. Great overview of sales automation and analytics and customer engagement. Attendees, this is your opportunity to hook up with an expert in the sales automation space. Please, I encourage you to use the question interface inside of the control panel to pose your questions. Darren, and I know you started off your presentation talking about, hey, one size doesn't fit all. And I think point well taken. I'm just curious, for club operators, what's the time expectation for implementing VFP?
Great question, Todd. That really depends on how clearly defined the club's vision for their sales process and that member engagement is. If we have an organization who just absolutely knows what they want, they see that the automation can assist them and help them in their business, we literally could get them up and going in 4 to 6 weeks, fully customized, fully implemented. If they are not 100% sure, or if they are looking to engage with our platform as a process of sort of adjusting or changing their sales systems and their automation and that vision, then certainly it could take longer, because we sort of go through the process of understanding what that change might be and building training materials and documents to go along with that. So it could definitely take longer, 8 to 12 weeks, but it could be done rather quickly based on that concise vision from the club.
Attendees, again, this is your chance to pose questions to Darren. If you could use the question interface inside of the control panel. Darren, a follow-up for you, and really concerning metrics. What's really going to move the needle for a club? What metrics should they be looking at after they implement a visual fitness planner?
Yeah, a couple of those, as it really specifically relates to personal training and small group training sales, is the number of members that are setting an appointment for that very first orientation, followed immediately by the number of members that are showing up for that, and then certainly followed by the number of members that purchase something. And that's a great question, Todd, because we absolutely show and can help a club realize significant change and improvement and moving the needle on those numbers. But a key part of that is us working together based on what the goal for the club is. And by way of example, let's just say that a club said their goal was to increase overall participation rate in personal training, small group training, large group training, and that was the number one goal, was increasing participation. So they want to get a much more significant penetration of the membership base. Then that's going to change the implementation of our platform, as compared to if the goal was, I want to sell more training and I want to generate more dollars, gross volume, total contract value for personal training, small group training. That would be a different goal, and again, the platform would change. And so what we do is we work with the club and we identify what are the KPIs that you want to move the needle on, and then we customize the platform around that to move the needle for them.
Awesome. Thanks, Darren. Hey, I have a question from Chris. Let me try to get this to you here. To streamline the PT sales process and help increase member retention is the reason that we're going to be working with Visual Fitness Planner. Our PT sales process is still using pen and paper, and we see great value with VPF based on the success at Crunch that they've had with the system. Can you talk a little bit about Crunch and maybe how that's been kind of a use case for you in working with other clubs?
Sure. We started out in several of the clubs, and again, I think that a big part of what we have done, not only is it a consistent play, but it is really assisting the clubs with really a playbook, if you will, that assists them in who is supposed to sell, exactly what they're selling, and in the Crunch world specifically, it's a pretty detailed EFT personal training play where we've implemented 30-minute sessions. We have a single point salesperson. We've assisted in the compensation plans that help align that, but we've also really bridged the gap between what's happening at the point of joining as well as what's occurring in this consultation. And that process of bridging the gap between the front side of the house and the back side of the house has definitely improved three of those things that I just mentioned: the appointment set rate, which in turn has been doing, we've worked with them on some tools that drive the show rate because the members understand more what they're going to get. And then the Crunch clubs we've been working with have done a great job of getting the people involved in both one-on-one and small group. And I know that Crunch has put together a great solution for small group training, and the combination of ensuring that what is presented and that the education and motivation to the members aligns to that has really made a big impact in what that penetration rate is for Crunch.
I'm curious, Daron. In terms of the member experience, are we asking a lot in terms of data entry on their end? Can you give us kind of a feel for how that works from the member's experience?
No, we're really not, because our platform is really a cross-platform that's really a business flow process application. The majority of the data entry is actually done as part of either the sales process and or the orientation process, where a staff member is facilitating with the member. Now, if their first point of engagement is via the web or a mobile device, literally it's no more than about seven or eight questions that are super easy, like height, weight, age, gender, a little bit of family history. It's very easy to get that data going, and if that's their first point of entry, then again, the process is streamlined and that data is already in the platform when they do come into the club or go through their orientation. And then as they go forward, the assessment data is also facilitated in most cases, not every case, but in most cases, the data is facilitated by the assessment and the and so they're just able to engage with the data, engage with the visuals in a very easy and seamless way, whether it's in a meeting with their trainer in the club, or whether they are just sort of looking at their assessment change over time via the web.
Interesting. Attendees, we're getting to that point where we're almost out of time. I encourage you to pose your questions here using the question interface in the control panel. Daron, while we're maybe waiting for a question or two to come in here at the end, any takeaways? If you're just going to boil this down, what are the 3 or 4 takeaways you want the attendees to walk away with so they have a better understanding about sales automation, member engagement, and analytics?
I would just say that technology is going so fast it's exploding. And I would just really encourage you, regardless of whether you get involved with VFP, Visual Fitness Planner, in our platform or not, find a technology solution that really is customizable, that will roll up their sleeves and work with you, and make sure that it fits with the core functions of your business. I think sometimes clubs can sort of become distracted by all of the explosion of technology out there. And so I encourage everyone to ask yourself, how does this sort of improve on what I'm already good at? Or is it going to potentially cause me to take my eye off the ball? Is it going to create noise in my organization? So that'd be one key takeaway. A second takeaway, and I've already touched on it, but I'm so passionate about it that I think it's worth repeating, and that is having the ability to make decisions for your business in a more in a quicker way, in a quicker fashion, is really key. It's pretty turbulent out there in the business world. The business models are changing. New competitors are coming in all the time. And I think that it's incredibly difficult to make those decisions if you don't have easy access to data. And so data-driven decisions are just absolutely key. And then the last takeaway I would say is that, if you can't easily analyze the data, so not only is the data itself important, but the ability to analyze the data is really important. And so I would encourage you to, gravitate towards systems that either provide you with an analytic component to it, or they connect you with other operators that are doing, a best practice currently, that you could off some of the data so that you could get a little bit of their analytics, through referral or by, viewing their best practice.
Awesome. Daron, thanks for a great session today on sales automation, member engagement, and analytics. I want to encourage our attendees today to sit in on our Thursday, November 19th webinar with Andrew Coleman, who's going to kind of go into the explosion of technology that has entered the fitness arena. And specifically, he'll be talking about the impact of the fitness technology landscape on the business of health and fitness clubs. So it should be a really interesting and insightful seminar. Again, that'll be on November 19th at 2 o'clock. Again, my thanks to Daron Allen and Visual Fitness Planner's support of the Motionsoft Technology Summit. This will conclude our webinar for today. Thanks so much, Daron.
Thanks. Have a great day, Todd. Appreciate it.
Bye now.